Hi, in this video I want to show you how you can make clouds in Blender. So this is an easy and procedural way to get very nice looking clouds. You can use it best in the Cycles render engine. So I've already set up my Cycles render engine with 500 samples. That's what I like to use. I don't change anything else to do this. Let me go to shading. So the clouds will be a volumetric in this cube. So we're going to use this cube where the clouds are going to be inside of. Now for volumetrics, you can search volume and you get volume info, scatter, volume absorption and the principled volume. That's basically with the most settings. Even though we're only going to be using the density, I just like to take this one. Now I'm gonna get a Musgrave texture, and a Musgrave texture is basically a more advanced noise texture. So you also have the noise texture right here, and the noise texture could work as well, but I found that the Musgrave works better. And to have more control over the texture, we're going to get a ramp. And as you can see, we get this black, and in the Musgrave texture you can see that it slowly turns white towards the middle, and we can that's basically this right here, and we can make this black and the white parts, so make it more white. So basically this gradient corresponds to what you have right here, and you can change the gray values to be also black. Now we can mess around with this Musgrave texture. The scale is basically the scale, so tiling the texture, and it's all procedural, so you don't see repetition. You have the detail, which is pretty important. You'll see that you get a lot more detail, but it's not really noticeable. But you can see there's a lot more information right here. So if we now lower the dimensions, you can see that we get some interesting results. I'm not sure what dimension does, but I just know that it gets more interesting when you lower it like this. So we kind of want to get something like this. So this kind of looks like clouds, as you can see, and this value I don't like to change. I don't use this often. Now we can use this as the density. So tell Blender that these spots are very dense and these spots are not dense, and then you already have some nice clouds. The color of the clouds right now is gray, and we want them to be white. What we can do as well, scale this up a bit and use a sky texture to get some more intense lighting. Set the sun rotation something like this. Now you can see that we get some interesting clouds. Now we can make the clouds less dense like this. Change it around. So now black is basically where it's not dense, so the spots where nothing is happening, and we can make more spots where nothing is happening to get some smaller looking clouds. And we can change the scale to get less clouds but a little bit bigger. As you can see, that looks like a pretty realistic cloud. Now we can get an object, for example from my Polyhaven models, and get I don't know, or take something from Blender Kit. Let's go with plane. Not sure if there's a plane in here. Okay, we've got this Blender plane. Let's place it in the scene. It's massive. Jesus. Okay, let's rotate it around the X for 90, rotate X minus 90, and then scale up this bit. And we can position our camera, something like this. And if I click on the camera and set the clipping end a bit farther away and get my background back, I like to change the exposure since it's very overexposed right now. And you see that we get some pretty realistic looking clouds. Now we can scale this cube up a bit and maybe play with this scale right here to get some clouds in the distance as well. And play around with the depth of field. So we want it to be on the plane body. And then we basically have our scene with the clouds. So you can also choose to make the clouds less dense, kind of like this. Play around with these values. And when we now render it, you can see I have a pretty good computer, but still it's rendering very fast. It's a quick and easy way to get clouds in Blender, and you can use it for pretty much any shot or any use, and I think it's a pretty nice way to get clouds. Thanks for watching, and hopefully till next time. Bye!